Hi there, everyone. My name is Dr. Jeff Schroeder, and I am pleased to be your instructor for your next course in the program, NU619, Principles of Staff and Patient Education. For those of you that I've not had before, welcome. It's nice to meet you. For those of you, when I do see I have some familiar faces from previous courses, pleased to be with you again. I will be posting these videos every week. Normally they're posted on either Sunday night or Monday, most weeks anyway. Of course, this week we've had some issues with Blackboard, and if you were viewing this, I guess that you've all got the link to the new Blackboard site. Of course, we had some issues with Blackboard, it looks like, on Monday. So I'm posting this a little bit later than I normally would. But I think we're all here right now, and so everything should be going well. This course is designed to build on previous knowledge. In previous coursework, you have discussed various leadership theories. You understand very well the role of the nurse as a leader in organizations. And in your last class, or at least for most of you it was your last class, you learned about the theoretical foundations of education and learning. And you learned about the different types of learning and adapted different theoretical models to education. Many of you have eyes on being nurse educators someday, and usually when we think of nurse educator, of course, we think of the nursing instructor, either a clinical instructor or a classroom instructor in a nursing program, but that's not all that nursing educators do. Nursing educators also play an important role in organizations, teaching both staff, not just nursing staff, but sometimes non-nursing staff, ancillary staff, and also patients. And this is going to be sort of a nuts and bolts class, taking that previous knowledge that you've had and then learning to apply it in this particular area. More what do we do in hospitals and organizations, and how do we meet the educational needs of our patients and staff. So that's really the focus of this class. In my weekly videos, I'm not really going to so much be lecturing on material or presenting information. The class has a wealth of information, and your Bastable text has pretty much all the information, and the PowerPoints in the class have everything that you'll need pretty much as far as the the knowledge base that you need. But I will be discussing more in terms of general concepts and let you know what's going to be coming up this week and wrapping up what's happened in the previous weeks. Or happened in the previous week's discussion, just to keep everybody on track and to help to make it, I hope, feel more like a regular classroom experience for you, and let you know that there really is an instructor out there that's reading your responses, and that there's just not a artificial intelligence bot out there or something acting as an instructor. It really is a real person, and that person is me. So I've been, as I said, I've been doing these for about the last year or so, and have gotten some pretty good responses from students saying that they find that it's helpful, if nothing else, to know that there's a real person out there. Also meets that need that I have to make that personal connection as best I can, which is a challenge in any kind of an online environment. So I hope that you find these videos useful and not just another task to do or kind of a waste of time. They generally last between 5 and 10 minutes, depending on what we're covering that particular week. For week number 1, we do have a challenge because we were delayed in getting into class for one day, or at least many of you were anyway. Not everybody was, I don't think. I know I was personally. I wasn't able to get into Blackboard on Monday, the first day of class. And so you'll see that I have posted an announcement that I am essentially shifting one day or giving everybody an extra day to do the discussions this week. So normally in all other weeks, with the exception of week number 8, which has its own time frame, discussions will happen. They will, the first assignment that you have each week is going to be your discussion question and response. Review the rubrics. I followed the rubrics pretty closely in the class. So if you follow the rubrics for your written assignments and for the PowerPoint presentation that you have later, if you follow the rubrics, you should do pretty well. Likewise for discussion, I followed the discussion rubrics pretty closely as well also there. The discussions, the initial responses are normally due on Wednesday. This first week, because class wasn't available on Monday, they're going to be due on Thursday of this week for week number 1. Normally, in all other weeks, your responses to peers need to occur before Saturday night. So essentially, Wednesday to Saturday is the most active day for participation. Now, you can post on Monday or Tuesday. You don't have to post on Wednesday, of course, but you are requested to post that initial response by Wednesday with a minimum of 2 follow-up responses to your peers no later than Saturday. And that will be Sunday this week, again, giving you 1 extra day this week. Discussions should occur throughout the week. In other words, not just, you should not just come in and post your initial post by midnight on Wednesday and then come in on Saturday and post 2 quick posts. Really, for the learning to be maximized in the course, you should be participating throughout the week. Minimum participation requirements is 2 responses to peers on different days of the week. And that will earn you a decent grade, but not the full credit. For full credit, you have to exceed the minimum expectations. And so if you're counting numbers, that's 4 or more discussions throughout the week. And I also grade on the content also, not just that you've posted, but also on the content, the new questions that you pose, the new insights that you bring to class. That's an important part of the discussions as well. I will be in the class participating along with you. My style is usually that once the discussion gets going, I come in, I give feedback, sometimes some anecdotes, my own personal experiences, and my own personal thoughts and insights into the material, and sometimes posing new questions, trying to keep a good discussion going. I like discussion, and discussion is an important part of what we do in these online programs. So we try to mimic as much as possible what would happen in a real classroom environment if we were meeting one-on-one, keeping the discussion going throughout the week. And so look forward to my participation in the week as well. I encourage you to review all the discussions in the class, not just the ones that have been posted to you individually, but also review the other peers as well, because I'll be giving feedback and other students will be giving feedback. And so although you're not expected to, wouldn't be expected to participate in every discussion thread, of course, it is important to kind of keep on top of the discussions and see what's happening in the discussions. It will help you not only with your discussion grade, but also in understanding the material. In week number 1, we start from a very general point. Again, I think that most of you have expressed an interest in being educators in nursing programs, but we're going to start this first week about other roles, about what is the role of a nurse educator in a hospital and in healthcare organizations. So the first week's discussion is focusing on what are the roles? What is the role of a nursing educator? How does the nurse fit into the leadership organization or into the leadership structure of an organization? What are some of the traits and what are some of the qualities that a nurse educator has to have, and how is it different from a nurse educator in a nursing faculty in a nursing program? That's really where we start this week. And so I will leave you with the materials in the discussion question. A little bit about myself. I've been teaching for Sacred Heart for I think about 3 or 4 years now, at least 3, kind of going on my 4th year. I've taught for other schools, several other schools. Sacred Heart has an excellent program, and I think from an online perspective at least, has just about got their best practices down. They do a very good job of designing these courses, and I think that the assignments and the expectations are very realistic and very pertinent, and hopefully will give you some tools that you could really use here. I'm on the West Coast. Actually, I split my time between Southern California, a little town called Yucaipa. It's about 60 miles east of Los Angeles, between Los Angeles and Palm Springs. But really most of the week I'm down here in Rosarito Beach, Mexico, believe it or not. Kind of trying to live a semi-retired lifestyle, and as such, I have my little place here in Rosarito. But like with, as all of you have all learned and have figured out, the nice thing about an online program is the longer you got an internet connection and enough bandwidth, and the time, you can participate from just about anywhere. The geographic, it really isn't any restriction here, but just be aware that if you do leave me an email or if you do post a message, I'm 3 hours earlier than you on the on the East Coast, and most of my participation in class usually is sometime in the morning and in the afternoons, West Coast time. So if you post me something late in the evening, and if you're on the East Coast, you may not see a response until sometime later the next day. If you send me an email, that is generally the quickest way to get a hold of me. I've left my personal email in my faculty profile, so if you absolutely have something that you really need an answer right away, sending a message to my personal email, although I don't encourage that, it will get to me immediately on my cell phone or iPad, and it pops up right away. I usually check my school email once or twice a day. So if you need a really quick response, or if there's some sort of an emergent situation, which shouldn't happen too much in this course, but if there is one, the personal email is a way to get a hold of me if you need a much quicker response. Otherwise, I'm in the class. The Sacred Heart policy is we need to respond to student questions and concerns within 48 hours, although I'm usually in class every day. So 24 hours is about the longest that you would normally go without an answer. I try to keep on top of questions and keep on top of any issues that might come up. So if you do not hear from me within 24 hours, please feel free to send me a personal email. There may be some reason why I'm not able to access the school email for some reason. Again, it doesn't happen often, but as they do their upgrades and do their various changes to their infrastructure, and they've had some changes going on with Blackboard, as you've no doubt noticed. If there's any delays, I don't want that to impact you at all. I want to be with you as quickly as I can. So with that, we'll leave it off. Again, you will see me again via video, probably on Sunday or possibly on Monday. I look forward to participating in class, look forward to answering any questions that you may have. If there's anything that you would like me to address in class, please send me an email and I'll go ahead and include it in my next video. Most of them won't be quite this long. I see them in about 12.5 minutes. Usually they're going to be about 6 or 7 minutes for the most part. So I look forward to getting to know you, look forward to seeing you in class, and look forward to participating right along with you.